What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sky Realm here at Homie and the Dude. I am Bodhi, your unexceptional dungeon master, and we are joined by our exceptional cast of players today. Quickly before we get into the game, couple of shout outs that we have to do. You know what it is. Shout out to the editing team of Becky and Ben. Those guys are absolute legends. Shout out to the art team, Victor, Josh, and Alex. They bring this world to life with all the incredible picture-in-picture art pieces that you see popping up on the screen. And finally, we have to give a massive shout out to our official sponsor of this stream, Underground Oracle Publishing. If you enjoy any of the character that Blake is playing, the lineage, the race that he's playing, as well as also the spells and things like that he's casting, that is all created by Underground Oracle Publishing, and they've been so gracious to allow us to use that. So they're an awesome third-party D&D content creation team, publishing team, and we strongly recommend you checking out their stuff. They are absolutely awesome. But a little recap for you guys. Last episode, our players left Ulfer's house on what they're calling their preparation for heist day, basically. And as they're leaving the house, this strange gentleman who seemed to be following them appears and finally talks and engages with the group. He calls himself Julio Balade, the Jolly Bard. And he basically informs them that he's very interested in the Green Jalapenos musical group that they are. It's specifically Toad himself, and he wishes that Toad would come with him and record an album at some point, back to his home studio to record an album. He offers the team a pretty large sum of gold as a deposit for this, but with some good rolls, Arinar is able to deduce that this might be a bit of a dicey situation, and so the team actually decide to hold off on that. He, however, leaves, and the team kind of confer a little bit and realize that maybe going up to his would be a good alibi for when they do this heist. So it's something they're still considering at the moment. From there, Toad reveals some interesting information to Arinar, that he knows that Arinar's great nemesis, Meridas Kulenov, might be at the Mansurin Fencing Club hideout, basically, where the party are heading. Arinar blows his lid and the party have to try and wrangle him back in. Finally, Geo is able to wrangle Arinar back down to calmness before they head out towards where they believe this Mansurin Fencing Club, underground fencing club is. They go to the Lotus Lady Tea House, and the group kind of confer and decide that Blanco and Toad should be the two that infiltrate the fencing club, while the rest of the group take some time outside to kind of keep watch, and half of the group kind of are going to go break off and find some disguises. So yeah, we last left off with our party of two entering in through the kind of 60s beads in the Lotus Lady Tea House and entering into this back room that they were allowed into by the ladies serving at the counter. So, if you're sitting comfortably, let's begin.
So we just, yeah, so
amazing. As you step through,
I follow Toad.
As you step through, very similar to the TARDIS or the tent in Harry Potter, you step through and you feel the kind of magical energy pass over you. And you enter a room that is quiet with just the sound of water trickling through. What you see in front of you is an open square room. You can see in the center of the room is a sunken bit of floor. It's about 20 feet square of sunken bit of floor in the center. And in the center of that is a giant fountain that has water, clear crystal water, just pouring out of it into the fountain and back around. You can see around the edges, there is a walkway that is about 20 feet wide along the edges of the room. And there's alcoves about maybe every 10 feet with suits of armor kind of dotted around them. There's a gentleman at the fountain, and you can see that he has removed his shoes and put them up on the platform, and is down and is almost doing like some sort of bathing ritual, I guess. You can see him wiping blood from his arms. And then after wiping the blood from his arms and shaking his arms, he grabs the water and pulls it over his head, just like slicking his hair back, basically, as he does. He stands up, turns to you both, quietly nods, puts his shoes on, and goes to walk past you guys.
Perception check. Has he got 2 arms? Did you say he's like?
He does have 2 arms. Yeah, okay. He's got 2 arms.
Right.
And he's dressed in like white waistcoat, frilly kind of black shirt underneath. He's got his like rapier at his hip, and he's wearing like trousers that kind of taper at the knees that are a bit like more puffy at the top, basically.
I have followed Toad in and sort of like.
Oh, final thing as well. There's doors. There's a couple of doors as well dotted around in the room. You can see that there's 4 doors spaced evenly into the 4 walls. And the final thing I'll say is there is some sunlight that seems to be coming through the roof. Though you know this building was multiple stories, there's like almost like a roofing that is in like almost like a fencing grid kind of thing, and it's letting like sunlight
like
in somehow.
An atrium.
An atrium, yeah, kind of situation, exactly.
I sort of am waiting for Toad to take the lead, and I'm sort of like pushing up behind him to sort of
the gentleman
see what he's feeling about this room, and I sort of whisper, "Whoa, what do you think we should do here?"
The gentleman walks past you and through the beads and out the shop. You're left in the empty room now, by the way.
Well, I was going to ask that person, but you tried something like what Arinar would do. So we need to are there any names on the door? Are there any names on the...
There is no names on the door, but as you kind of make your way around and you're kind of like sussing out this area, you can hear from one of the doors, there seems to be a lot of laughter and kind of chatter coming from behind one of the doors, as you guys are kind of walking around and surveying.
If you use your senses maybe to see, and I'll give you a hand.
I'm smelling around and I can smell that there's sort of like more sweat and things like that coming from, through one of the areas, because where it's like more fencing is done, and I said to I can smell that there is more sort of like sweat and blood over this way. Maybe this is where the fencing is taking place. Maybe it's where Maddox or Leopold can be found.
As you gesture to the door that you believe this smell is coming from, the door opens and 2 gentlemen walk out. Both gentlemen are sweating, and one of them has a slash across his chest plate that doesn't have any blood, but the chest piece that he had is like severed in half. The first gentleman who walks out, I'm going to just put up an image on screen for you guys quickly. The first gentleman you see walk out of the room is wearing a long flowing cloak that is resplendent with gold trim and hints of blue kind of locked in. You can see he's got black spiky hair and half of it is white all the way through. You can see that half of his neck and face have been severely burnt and very gruesomely burnt. You can see that he's wearing these like kind of harem-y kind of trousers with Roman sandals basically at the bottom. You can see tucked into his cloak is a katana with a rapier guard on it, and then a tanto next to that. As he kind of turns, you notice that one of his sleeves kind of just moves a little bit more freely, as if almost empty. The other gentleman walking out is basically, he's got, let me just describe this to you. So he's got a little like almost laurel metal thing here with 2 pointy elf ears. He's got slick back brown hair, and he's wearing a cloak, like a almost like captain's double-breasted jacket with the bottom half of it in this like yellow and kind of orange check with fur at the bottom, and the top half is like blues and browns, and underneath that he's wearing like a half chest plate, kind of like you are, Blanco, that has been severed. And as the two walk out, the younger gentleman with the burns kind of goes, "You know what, Meridas? You didn't do too bad today, but let's be honest, you're no match for the hand and mouth, are you?" The guy goes, "Well, you know what, Maddox? Whatever, man. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, this time you had me and you got me in the corner and there wasn't anything I could do. But next time I'm coming for you and I'm going to go practice my repartees and you're going to be screwed then." Max is like, "Hey, be what it be, brother. Be what it be. I'm going to go join Leopold and the others in the other room. What's your plans, Meridas?" Meridas is like, "I don't know, man. I've got this paper that I'm working on at home and fuck, I need to get this repaired now thanks to you, so I'm actually going to head out. If that's cool with you, man." And as they say this, they both turn and notice both of you stood just in the room, like maybe 10 feet away from them from the door.
Oh, sorry, did not mean to interrupt. We're here to, I believe, they're going to showcase their skills. We come from far lands, and they're one of the best fighters that I've ever witnessed, and they came here to prove themselves. And did I ever hear, are you Meridas Kulenov, the author, right?
You see him like take a little like hop step, you know, like a little whoop, whoop, and goes, "I am indeed," and he bows. "Meridas Kulenov, at your service."
Your writing says one of my close friends, like you're their favorite writer. They would love to, if someday they could pick your brain about this, that would be amazing. If you're ever available, I know you're busy probably, but if there's some place we can maybe to discuss it.
Yeah, I would be delighted to walk your friend through any of my works. Here, 1 second, and you see him reach into his bag and he pulls out a thin tome, and on the front of that tome is, let me just get this 100% right, because I want to make sure I get it right.
How psychic is Arinar right now?
I feel a great disturbance in the force.
It says ratio et post-mortem on it. Propositum on it. And he goes, "This is actually one of my most famous works." He flips it open, pulls a pen from his pocket and begins signing it, "Meridas Kulenov, to my number one fan." And he seals it and he goes, "Here, take this for your friend. It's my pleasure. I have many more in his bag," and you can see, Toad, that he's got like 3 or 4 of his own tome in his bag.
And if we can maybe book a time to meet you, that'd be amazing. If you're busy, I know you're busy. If there's any time we can book a time to meet you, that'd be.
Well, do you know what? How about this? In 2 days, I will be doing a lecture at the university on the dock. If you wish to come to my lecture, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have after my lecture. I would be delighted. And anyone who's a fan of my work is a friend of mine.
And Blanco is trying to keep the hairs on the back of his neck from coming up, and sort of like just a slight snarl is sort of, trying to escape, and he's managing to keep it in control because he doesn't want to lose control, but he just is like, knows that this is who Arinar is so passionate about and is really like, and so he's sort of like, keeping his cool, but just like staying behind, Toad's right there, and he's just keeping behind him with his hand placed on his rapier.
You see at this point, the younger gentleman steps forward and goes, "Did you mention that you are a professional fencer looking to test themselves against the best? Well, I am Maddox Carlisle, beta of this establishment."
With that, Blanco's eyes like...
Would you be interested in testing yourself against me? We do have our alpha in today, but if you can't beat the beta, what's the point of you even touching the alpha?
Well, no offense, but they do want to go with the top of the top because they feel they've been tested along the way, and I know you're probably a great fighter, but if possible, and just so that they can know.
Here's what I will say. If you can best me in a fence, I would be happy to go inform Leopold that some new guy who has entered our city is suddenly the best fencer in the land and we've not heard of you up until this point, which, let's be real, is not likely. So I'm happy for us to step into the fencing room if you would like.
Blanco leans forward to Toad and says, I think I'm going to have to fight him, but how do you feel about this?
I trust your ability, so if you think you're down this, then I'll do everything I can to have your back. So
I go, a one-armed fighter. I think I might win.
You see, Meridas go, if you don't mind, may I stay and watch this battle? I'm very curious to see these skills that you seem to bring new. But by the way, what are your names? Welcome to the Mansuran Fencing Club. What are your names, by the way? Says Meridas.
well, you can just call me T.
Does that stand for something, or is it like TEA or TEE?
It's more of a symbol, but just T.
My apologies. I am not proficient in symbols, hieroglyphs, or things like that.
And
It's not my
Blanco leans
specialty.
in and tells Toad to say black magic.
And they go by black magic.
You see Meridas and Maddox look at each other for a second, as if to almost say, Blanco is a white dog. What? That's such a weird name. And then Maddox goes, well, after you, good sir, magic. And gestures towards the fencing room. That moment, we're going to come back outside to our outside group who are keeping watch at the moment. You guys know that Ulfur has told you that there's a square nearby that has some shops in it. The direction in which he gestures looks like he's gesturing towards where the spire of the church is as well. He's kind of doing one of those and gesturing that way towards that direction.
How are you guys feeling? I'm wondering how they're doing in there. I can't hardly contain myself right now. Do you think do we need to go in? Are they making any progress?
Well, there's no possible way of knowing unless we go in, but I mean, if we bum rush everything, that's gonna blow our cover.
We gotta trust them, I guess, but I can barely contain myself. My skin's crawling right now.
Well, let's get some of those jitters out. We should maybe go on a little
Punch me in the
walk,
face.
maybe. What?
Punch me right in the face, Gio. Right.
Who?
You mean metaphorically?
I don't know. That seems
No, I mean
unnecessary.
physically punch me in the face.
Oh,
Come on.
Is this for me or for you?
It's for both of us. Please, just hit me right in the face, like right here, not here. That could shatter my jaw, but right about here.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Gio has seen Arinar on the heavy bag and also blast through walls and knows the level of effort that it needs for Arinar to release endorphins. He understands that, and he knows that just a simple punch or a respectful punch is probably not going to do anything for Arinar, but he's a little bit petrified. But in his mind, he's thinking, this is more for Arinar than for me. And he actually, he...
I'm gonna let the hit land. I'm not.
yeah, of course. Yeah, we're not going to roll attack. We'll just go down.
He measures it, and he
This
says,
is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
Arinar, I'm so sorry for doing this. And he says, are you...
I asked.
Okay, here goes. And he pulls back, and in his mind he's thinking, this is for Arinar. And he lays one on Arinar as close to the mark that Arinar had indicated on his face.
As this happens, two women that are across the road from you see this punch happen, and one of them goes, "Deus Scott!" and just like faints on the road, and the other woman goes, "Oh my goodness, violence in the street!" and just like runs, leaving her friend like passed out on the ground.
Arinar kind of like, thank you, I did need that, and runs over to the woman. Ma'am, are you all right? Do you need any assistance?
The woman's like, oh, you're so strong. Hello, yes, oh, I'm so injured.
Yes,
I fell and hurt myself. Yes, I could use all of your assistance. May you help me up? And she like gives you like a one of these.
Yes, and he kind of like yanks her up very unceremoniously.
She's like, thank you. What is your name? You're so strong. You took that punch. Oh my goodness. How could you, sir? How could you hit this beautiful, gorgeous green man?
Oh, I asked him to. He's my friend. My fellow investigator.
Oh, you're investigators. Are you on the trail of something right now? That's so interesting. I used to read books about these two investigators. One who had the ability to discover things with his mind, and the other one who was, well, he was there. And are you like them?
Well, I think we all have the ability to discover things with our minds. None of my companions in my practice are there. We all bring something to the table. But regardless of that, that would be confidential. I cannot talk about the business of my business.
Oh, golly, that's so exciting. Confidential. I've never been a part of a confidential investigation before, but this is my first. Oh, I thought.
No.
Oh, sorry.
This is nothing. I simply helped you up from the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, where do you live? Maybe we could, get a drink sometime.
Arinar, are you feeling better? Gio calls to Arinar across the road.
I have been perfectly fine. The drink, I don't understand. Why would we?
She goes, I don't know, maybe, and she kind of runs a finger over your like shoulder muscle and goes, maybe to get to know each other a little bit.
I think Eva seeing this will like put a hand on Gio's eyes, just like hold
on. I suppose we can get to know each other right here. My name is Arinar. I run a detective practice, but I don't.
Oh, R and R. What does that stand for?
No, it's my name. R in. Oh my God, you're flirting with me. Oh.
You see her go red. You see her just go red instantly. No. Why would I flirt with you? I mean, you're just clearly some midtown downtown folk that why would I even flirt with you? God.
Arinar kind of like, if her hand's still on his shoulder, he's going to like kind of softly grab it and like take her pulse with his thumb and say, "Your heartbeat is elevated." I will say that I do not engage in any sexual contact. I am simply not one for that. You seem like a wonderful person, but how does the expression go? I do not swing that way.
Well, you know what, you big himbo? I'm done with this. You don't need to talk to me like that, calling me a hoe, thinking I want to do sexual things with you. I'm out of here, man. Screw you. I'm out of here. And you see her begin walking off.
What is a himbo?
See her go, you're disgusting. And she just like walks off.
Arinar's just going to walk back to his friends. I am so very confused right now. What happened?
What was that?
Are
you
know.
Okay?
I don't think so. What happened? I don't. I can.
I take my hand off of Gio's eyes.
What happened?
Ulfer leads into Gio and goes, lady just wanted to, chat up Arinar and maybe get some of his well, the mole, maybe. Maybe she was looking for the mole. Who knows?
Sounds like she wanted to investigate him a little bit deeper, if you know what I mean.
Yes, what
I
Evis
don't,
said.
yes, I mean.
Ulfer kind of cackles, is like, what Evis said. That was a good one. Ha! And then leans across and goes,
I
knuckle up
see.
to Evis.
I see. You are referring to my penis. The mall. That is right, yes. No,
Okay. Do you guys want to go get the cloaks? I'll keep watch, yeah? Are we all good? Yeah? Okay. Ulfer kind of like...
I will stay with you. Ulfer. We might as well do pairs. I don't think any of us should be alone at any given point.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Arinar. Well, we can maybe talk about how best to communicate with people who flirt with you in the future while we wait. Gio and Blanco, my size... sorry, Gio and Evis, my apologies. My size of cape is medium. I like a medium cape, me.
Perfect. Arinar, I don't want to assume your size. Ew.
My God. Oh, yes. Now we're getting there.
I didn't know what I was saying.
And is like...
I didn't know what I was saying until I said it, and I was like, "Oh shit, fuck."
Gio does a perception check on Evis.
Evis's blue cheeks suddenly turn this like violet purple,
Lilac.
violet purple, and turn like this little cute purple.
It just goes right over Arnar's head, which is incredible because he's 6'7", and he says, "I am an extra large."
Okay, great, wonderful.
Are you
I'm
okay?
sorry.
Did something
No,
happen?
it's just, it's been a while since we've been able to joke openly like this.
Was that a joke? Oh no.
You know what? It was an
Bless your
underhand joke. It's all good. She was just hoping that it was a double XL. Was all I think was being. They were hoping it was a double XL. I believe in this moment. So apologies. Anyway. And he turns and he can see two guards enter from the pier, and he goes, "Guards, guards, guards!" And he leans up against the wall of the building, and kind of just peers around. Suddenly, he goes, "Should I inform the others?" As the guards kind of begin walking through, and they're just kind of muttering to themselves, not really taking much notice of people around. It's like, "Guards, what should we do?"
Shall we walk over?
We should get those. Yeah, we should. Let's split.
Okay.
Let's get those clothes. I assume Toad is like a toddler, large.
Yes.
No.
He's baby gap large.
You can technically get him the clothes that they have for pets, the small, like the dog vests.
Okay.
Would technically work better for him, I believe. I haven't been with him to buy. I don't think he wears much in terms of clothes, actually.
All natural, baby. I'm not there
Considering the
yet.
fact that
Commando.
his skills are quite resplendent. I believe he is technically constantly naked. But if you were to buy him a more jewels for his wings, I think he would appreciate it.
You get like the Professor Oak. You can't use that in here, but it says Toad, like all natural, baby.
Yeah, Toad uses focus sash.
And Gio's taking notes in his little notebook of sizes.
He can be bejazzled.
Amazing.
My God.
So, as Gio and Evis begin making their way off towards that square, Ulfer turns to Arinar and goes, "Let's look busy. I have a dice set in my pocket," and he pulls out a dragon dice set and goes, "Let's play," and just rolls the dice onto the ground in front of him and Arinar. And at that moment, we're going to cut back inside to the fencing club and the room that you guys have walked into. Let me just describe it. It's wooden walls. The walls have these kind of dark brown and red stains all over the wood. You can see that there are 5 tatami mats that make up the floor. Blanco, as someone who has practiced with a sword a lot, can you please make a history check with advantage about 5 tatami mats in a room? And then and so there's 5 Tatami mats. They're splattered in these, again, brown stains, red stains kind of all over the place. And over to the right, you can see a weapons rack with kind of more rudimentary rapiers kind of lent up against the rack on the wall. As you guys kind of enter, Maddox goes to the far end of the room, spins on his heels, faces Blanco before taking a bit of a wider stance. Go for it, Toad.
I'm gonna pat Blanco, give him bardic inspiration, just play like a little like we're warming up. So play like a warming up, getting warmed up. And then I'm gonna position myself to where I'm 5 feet from them. What did I forget his name? From Maddox. I'm gonna make sure because it's called Sublime Calamity. And so at their level, your natural aura bedevils those who come close to you. So as long as I have bardic inspiration remaining, creatures within 5 feet of me have disadvantage on their attack on their first turn.
Cool.
And so
he's got disadvantage on his first attack.
Yes, anyone with 5 feet of me. So I'm going to angle myself so I'm 5 feet from them, but like farther from
Tom,
Blanco.
Could you do me a favor? I completely forgot to grab my book. Can you grab my book and a pen for me? My book is literally just on the shelves. Can you just grab that for me? Sorry. And Tracy, what was your history check?
History.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
History advantage. Sorry, history advantage.
So 8.
8. With an 8, they're just tatami mats. You don't seem to recollect anything about this style of room or anything like that. But Maddox stands across from you, his one arm kind of facing you, and he goes, "Are you ready, Sir Magic?"
And at this point, I want to cast like Hunter's Mark if I can.
Yeah, of course.
It means that.
Yes. No. The one that has the dragon on it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Go for it. Yeah. So you cast Hunter's Mark on him. Yeah. No problem. And what we're going to do now is, can you and him please roll initiative?
Blanco's sort of limbering up, and he feels that Toad has given him sort of like this boost. He can feel it, but he's feeling quite confident. This isn't something that's sort of
Amazing. So as you guys kind of take stance, you see Maddox say, "Let's see how you fare against the mouth and hand." He pulls the tanto, which is the small katana-style dagger, from his sheath and places it in his mouth and grips it in his mouth. He then pulls his katana from its sheath, and you can see that this is a gorgeous two-handed katana that has a amazing rapier guard kind of that has been fitted onto it, that has got metal and then a bit of like blue gem kind of encrusted in it. And he takes a stance. I'm just going to show you guys, just because I love this piece of artwork, and I got to just show you guys what that looks like. There you go. So that's the stance that he takes, and you can see him prepared and ready as he does. What was your initiative roll, Blanco?
17.
17. You act first.
Okay. I say, "One moment," to Maddox, and I said, "I just need to prepare first." And I go to Toad. I say, "Do we need to make a bet here? Do we need to leverage, if I win here, what we gain from this?" And I go, and like I'm speaking obviously through Toad. Maddox isn't going to understand me, so I'm,
Well, and so he said, so if we beat him, we'll get to talk to we'll take us to Leopold, right? That was a basic Well, I know there's other things we need him for, so right now at least we'll get to see Leopold. So I think that's everything we need at the moment. But we can always come back though, since when you do win, we'll have access to here too. So we can always come back and meet with them again.
I feel you have empowered me, and I shall now take my stance and take aim.
Amazing. You take stance. It's your move first. You've got initiative.
Okay. Gonna roll. I've drawn.
I'm gonna fly over that
Yeah.
position.
You can see
Yeah.
that you're here on the map as well.
Yeah. So I now is Toad going to roll initiative? Is he going to
No.
be part of this at all?
He's
Okay.
unless he decides to get involved, then
Okay.
currently no.
Okay.
I just want to fly though. I just want to be within like 5 feet, like, just watching from like
Yeah,
the corner. Like
near like him here, like that.
yeah, just kind of walk. Yeah, like I'll be kind of close to motherfucker. Yeah.
I can't do Hunter's Mark and Zephyr's Strike on myself where I move like the wind.
No, you have to do one or the other, Hunter's
Okay.
Mark or Zephyr Strike. And we'll say as
Okay.
you've cast Hunter's Mark already, that's already on him.
Okay. All right. I'm going to.
And that will be your bonus action.
Sorry.
That will be your bonus action because Hunter's Mark is a bonus
Yeah.
action.
So I'm going to move and
Straight to him?
yeah,
Cool.
and take first strike.
Go for it. Roll attack.
I'm going to pull my sword and I'm going to sort of aim the one sort of like good hand that he's using.
You're going to aim for his wrist.
Yeah, his wrist.
Okay.
And I. Does a 25 hit?
A 25 does indeed hit.
If it didn't, I'm quitting.
I rolled 19 and plus 6, so 25.
So how much damage, sir?
Okay, with you take 1d8 plus 3 plus the Hunter's Mark is another 1d6.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that meant thank you. And a d6. Um, 5.
5 points of damage.
Mhm.
He's going to use his reaction parry ability and reduce it down to 1 point of damage.
Okay.
As you come in, you come swing really. Go for it.
Can I can't have a reaction to sort of like try and sort of bend my lower half?
Unless you have an ability that gives you a
Okay.
reaction, no.
Okay.
So as you come down, you clang, and he raises his guard to block it. Your blade clangs against his, sparks shower the back wall as you do. And as you do, the force that you come down with tweaks his wrist a little bit, and you hear him say, "Argh!" as it tweaks his wrist at an awkward angle as he takes 1 point of damage. Anything else on your turn?
Can I disengage?
You don't have a bonus action,
Yeah.
so no, I don't believe you
Okay.
can disengage.
Yeah.
Cool. So you end your turn. As you end your turn within his space, you suddenly feel this kind of static in the air around you. And as you do,
I had bardic inspiration. Does that do anything to?
you can roll it to enhance a roll, to add more to a roll. That's what bardic inspiration does. So it's a
Okay.
dice roll that can be added to it.
Okay, I didn't.
And so you take 4 points of lightning damage as he ki-eyes in front of you and goes, Kia! And a blast of like energy kind of comes out from him. And you feel that you take 4 points of lightning damage as that does. Now it's his turn. So on his turn, he is going to remain within your space, but he's going to kind of like feint. And as he feints, he's going to take a little sidestep and try and come around to the side of you. So
Disadvantage.
he's going to come around to the side of you, and he's going to swing his first attack, and then he's going to try and swing. As he swings, step in and try and slash you with the one in his mouth as well, making 2 attacks.
First one's going to be disadvantage.
Yep. Cool. Cool. Okay. So that was a 25 and a 13. Do either of those hit?
The 25 does them.
The 25 hits. Amazing. Okay. So that is going to be, you take 9 points of piercing damage as he slashes you with his katana, and you also, as you do, you feel this kind of like static shock from the blade as it cuts your skin as well, dealing an extra 7 points of lightning damage. And he is going to end his turn, and again kind of take stance, ready for you.
I run up and I hit the wall and I come back down behind him.
Mm-hmm.
This time I've now got my rapier out and I've got my claws, my claw. So I'm going to do 2 sets of.
Cool, go for it. You can make 2 attacks.
You have the Bardic Inspiration if you need it too, which is going to be a D8 for one of them.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think I'm going to. I got. What?
I can always give it again too. It's Bardic Inspiration, so I think it can be.
Okay, I'll roll it again.
Just
it'd
wait. Real quick, this raid is taking place on the same day, correct?
Yes, you were planning on doing the raid later tonight at 10.
I think like at this time it's like 12 hours later, or maybe 11 and a half.
Yeah, okay. You guys have got time from now. Like you've made it here at about 10:30. They went inside the shop, so you're looking at probably like you guys have got a good few hours. If Blanco needed to have a long rest post this, they would have time to long rest.
Okay,
if need
cool.
be.
Just checking.
So 2 attacks.
Yeah. The first one was 6.
Yeah.
And then 11.
So you swing with your rapier as he very easily just sidesteps and it goes past. You then go to scratch with your claw. So you.
Hang on. Sorry, I beg your pardon. That is my bad. So it is a. It's a 14. Sorry.
Still doesn't hit.
Okay.
So the first slash, you go downwards and he sidesteps it. The second one, you swing horizontally with your claws, and he just matrix bends backwards, and you just go right over his head with your claws as you do. And he comes back up and laughs a little bit and goes, "Nice try." And as he's got the thing in his mouth, he's like, "Nice try."
I disengage and I sort of like come down. And I'm like down into sort of a crouch position.
Where to? Where are you disengaging to?
Yeah.
This way?
Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. And you're gonna crouch?
No, semi-crouch, sort of like like this.
Cool. End of your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Amazing. He's gonna go. Your capoeira style is very strong, but the hand to mouth is far stronger. And he rushes forward. As he does, he goes low and goes to slash at your feet as he tries to go in at you, basically, and is going to make
hovering above. That first one, if he hover above, is going to give him the disadvantage on that. So still kind of hovering, just like right like near him.
Disadvantage. So that's 16 hit.
Yes.
Cool. As he runs in, he slashes at your ankle and is going to do 6 points of piercing and 3 points of lightning damage as the blade passes through the skin and the fur on Blanco's ankle. And then as he's going to run, he's going to do that. He's going to continue to move around you and come up to the side here. As that happens, you hear Meridas go, "Good show, Maddox." Ha ha. And your turn, Blanco.
At this point, I go to, turn to Toad and I say, "Toad, I'm getting weaker. I think I might have overcompensated for my skills. I only, fought so quickly, and I'm like still down in this thing. Maybe we can do a truce, and while I keep my health, but I don't lose honor."
Are you sure? So I'm gonna kind of interrupt. Like, okay, this fight it's fine, but if they're going to also, I don't mean to
Silence,
interrupt.
Toad. We are in the middle of battle. Silence,
Yes, but
T.
exactly.
Silence.
If they're
We are
going
in the
to-
middle of this.
If they're going to fight, if they're going to be Leopold, though, they're going to be exhausted. That's unfair for them.
Huh.
How are we going to charge them out for them in Leopold? That is not fair.
Huh.
And Blanco stands up at this point and sort of like takes a bow towards Maddox to sort of show that he is like respectful of how he is fought.
They will continue this fight, but they do want to be with him first and be rested. So they'll be more than welcome to take you on as well. But they would like to meet Leopold, not exhausted.
You see Maddox go. He slides his katana back into its sheath and drops the tanto out of his mouth and catches it with his good hand before twirling it around and sliding it into its scabbard as well. And going, what makes you think if you can't beat me that you're going to beat Leopold? Look at you, surrendering in the middle of a battle. What honor is there in that? Disgraceful. And you say you bring the best fencer in the land to our club. What is this?
And Blanco leans in and says, it is not always about a final loss of victory. It is about recognizing someone with great skills and honoring those great skills. It isn't to be fought to the death.
Who said anything to the death? I had no intention of killing you, simply just...
Sorry, no, I was saying that to Blanco. Blanco was saying that to Toad because he doesn't speak like the same language. Sorry.
Oh, and I kind of relate that too. I relate that to
You know,
Maddox.
I strongly disagree with what you're saying, and it doesn't really sit with my values at all, but wherever podunk place you come from, where you're fencing like that, I understand they might have morals where surrendering during a battle shows that you are, I don't know, respectful or something. But here in the Manchurian Club, we finish our battles and then we respect one another afterwards.
And I say, this battle isn't finished. It's just I don't wish to be injured or you to be injured when we go and meet Leopold.
They don't wish to be hurt before, so they would like to finish this. As soon as they're with Leopold, they are more than going to finish this, but they don't want to be injured or tired before they meet Leopold. To give that the best shot they can give.
Does your fencing
will meet
club
right
not have a healing fountain? Does your fencing club not have a healing fountain? What injuries do you believe we would sustain? We would simply go out, use the fountain, and recover all of our healing. The fountain, you know about the fountain, right? Yeah, it was explained to you when you came in, correct?
They didn't say anything about any sort of fountain.
Okay, so after a battle, the fountain is then ritualistically used to heal us. Apparently, it's infused with some sort of elixir from some small island. What was it called? It was called Largos? No, Lacrima. I think it was Lacrima. And yeah, so it's infused with an elixir from there that heals us after our battles. So do you wish to continue? Or would you like me to go tell Leopold that...
Yes, let me relay that information to... Can I read that really quickly, though, please? So
yes,
they can
of
understand
course.
the fountain.
Of course, take your time. And he turns to Meridas, raises his hand to Meridas, and Meridas goes almost like laughing at you guys behind your back.
I think we must continue.
Of course, and you've got this. I mean,
absolutely, we must continue. And
I've got your back, and so
yeah, and he bows again and draws his rapier again and is ready to battle.
At this moment, he's facing away from you and laughing with Meridas. He doesn't see you draw your rapier at all.
And I do strike.
Amazing, go for it. You can make your attack with advantage.
$21.
Hits.
Okay. And just as I'm about to strike, I say, turn around.
As you say turn around, he turns to face you as you ram the rapier into his stomach. How much damage do you do?
7.
Plus your hunter's mark as well.
9.
You do 9 points of piercing damage as you slide the rapier easily through his midsection, through the flesh, organs, and anything, and it pierces out the back of him, and he goes, ah! As he does. And you see Meridas turn to Toad and go, that is a cheat, that's a foul move, he wasn't ready. At this, you see Maddox grip onto your rapier and pull the rapier out of his body. As you do, you see blood begin to seep from the wound. I'm gonna just roll something quickly. Just gonna see what goes on here. Oh wow, okay. Let's see where that leaves us. Okay. Taken, okay. You see him grab his rapier as he begins you see him getting agitated. And Blanco, as you look at him, his eyes begin to almost sparks of lightning begin shooting across the irises of his eyes. You suddenly see the limp cloth where his arm was begin to fill. And you see it slowly begin to fill as if something is growing within underneath. What pokes out the end is a hand, but this hand is made entirely of blue electricity and lightning as it pokes out the bottom of his sleeve. You see him, ah! And he charges forward and goes to swing at you with his rapier. And
I ducked down and I said, "This is a sword fight, not a battle with conjuring magic."
Yeah. He rolls a 3. As he swings for you, you duck down. He swings over your head, takes a couple of steps, drops to a knee, and turns straight away to look back at you. You can hear the crackling of lightning from his arm as he's like, come on then, come on. And is going to then charge back at you. It's your turn, though.
At this point, Blanco is just like feeling that this has become something so much more than they had intended, that there was not this thing, and they realized that doing something quickly but from the back was not what he had wanted to do, and he had taken a moment of like pure sort of like out of body kind of experience, and he draws his sword to the height and says, "This was my master's sword. It is not intended to kill or hurt another. This sword is intended for one person. And for this reason, I cannot continue with this battle. You tried to goad me. This sword is meant only for one person. And I respect you. And I have to tell you, I am sorry. I cannot continue this. This sword was made by my master and is for one person only."
So no attacks this turn, not doing any actions, staying where you are, just talking?
And I put my sword. I put my sword away and I take 2 steps. I step away.
So disengage?
I disengage and I step away and I bow and I say, "You most respectful fighter, but this is not the fight I have been raised to fight." And I relay this to Toad, and Toad.
As you this is a good question. Are you saying this out loud, or is this all been said?
Yeah, no, it's out loud, but Toad has to translate it because I don't speak.
Cool. Toad, I assume you translate all of that?
Mm-hmm. As beautifully as I can, yes.
Blinded.
Adding like some totem blemishment too, yes.
Blinded by rage, he pushes forward and goes to slice you again. And this time, as he goes mid-slice, he lifts his arm and suddenly a bolt of lightning shoots from his arm. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
So because if this is his first attack of his turn,
yeah,
I'm still gonna hover near him, so that's still be disadvantage.
Yeah,
that's his first attack.
19 at disadvantage. You rolled a 19 on disadvantage. Rolled 2 19s. And As this bolt of lightning hits you out of his hand, you feel it kind of hit your chest plate, and as it does, the electricity then disperses and courses through the metal, and it goes up into your neck, and you feel it in your brain as it feels like you're being locked in place, like a taser has just hit you. As your body stiffens, Blanco, you take 12 points of lightning damage.
And I can barely speak at this point. I drop to my knees and I say to Toad, repeat again, this is not the fight I came to fight.
As the lightning...
sword is not, my rapier and sword is not for his damage. It is purely made by my master. This is not the fight I am to have. And I at that point, I am like down on my knees.
You see him as the bolt fires off and he's kind of running towards you. He stops mid-track. You see him kind of slow up, and the arm that is made out of lightning kind of falls to his side and begins retracting. The sleeve begins falling limp again. As he stands there, he sheaths his katana and says, I'm very sorry. I did not mean my emotions to get out of hand and for me to strike you in such a way that was very disrespectful of me. And if we were to continue this battle, I wish to do so with our blades and not with anything else. I apologize. And he steps forward to Blanco and kneels in front of Blanco as well, and goes down and goes, I am very sorry. And you see like his demeanor from this like cocky person changes almost instantly to a little boy filled with shame. And he stands there, he's like, sometimes it just gets out of hand and I can't control it, and I'm really sorry. You provoked me with that surprise attack, which is very good, by the way, but I'm really sorry. And you see him just kind of put his head to the tatami mat and bow to you.
At this point, I put a paw on his head and I said, I was taught surprise attack, and therefore I apologize for that being my first place to do that. I respect you. We maybe can do some sparring together and teach each other some interesting things. But you are not the person. My rapier is here to be used upon in an attacking way.
I appreciate that. He looks up. I appreciate that, but I never intended to hurt you in this manner. And you can see Meridas is like taking a big step back and is shocked at Maddox's outburst. He's shocked about the surprise attack. He's just like stepped back like, what the fuck just happened, basically. And as you guys kind of look around the room, you can see that a section of the wall is smoking from where the lightning had hit Blanco, passed through, and then continued and struck the wall behind Blanco.
Blanco is coughing. He's feeling very weak, and he says to Toad, maybe you can relay to him that we go to the fountain to cure ourselves and both heal up and then meet Leopold.
Hey, is it possible to go to the fountain now? You both, yes, we both need the fountain, and then maybe we can meet Leopold if possible.
You see he stands up and gestures an arm out to Blanco and pulls Blanco up, places Blanco's arm around his shoulder and goes, yes, I apologize again, and maybe we'll call it a draw this time. Sir Black Magic, a very formidable opponent yourself. And
I appreciate that, young Maddox. And I look forward to us sparring together at a future time.
I'd be delighted to do so, as he kind of begins limping with you like out towards the out towards the fountain, and is like, I just hope I don't have another outburst like this. It hasn't happened for so long. I apologize. And you guys make your way over to the fountain and begin kind of using the water to wash away the wounds and cure. T, you're back up to full health after using the fountain and doing so. And Meridas goes, "Oh, well, I don't fucking know what any of that was, and that was freaking crazy. Look, T and Black Magic, if you wish to bring your friend to my lecture, I'd be happy to see you. I have a place to be and people to tell about this. Thank you for an amazing show, and I shall maybe catch you in a couple of days." And he begins kind of backing away to the door.
Please keep it. Please keep my compatriot to a minimum, since, like you said, we're trying to come up there, so we want people to see it firsthand, their prowess. So.
No problem. And he kind of steps through the beads, and as the beads close, he disappears. Maddox kind of sat there with Blanco by the fountain, just kind of looks up and goes, "Well, you proved yourself quite greatly, I would say, and due to my dishonor, it would only be right that I introduced you to the Alpha. If you wish to duel him, you're welcome to do so today or another time, but yes, let me just go grab Leopold." And with that, he goes to turn around and go towards the door where you heard all the laughing coming from before.
I turn to Toad and I am, oh, thank goodness for this fountain. Oh, I think I was nearly gone, and the rapier is not for this young man. And lightning is not part of a sword battle, and he has made me rethink everything that I know about being a fighter.
But first, I need to apologize. I'm so sorry that I put you in that situation. I should have done something. I'm sorry, I let you down there. You fought bravely. What are you talking about? You stood up there and you fought him just as well. So, no, your heart's in the right place. I let you down by not being better. So, I apologize. But
well, now we must return to the mission of why we are here.
Yes.
Maybe we can do a better job of getting some information from. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, yes, maybe we can do a better job of getting some information.
At this point, Maddox opens the door and you hear, "Good show, good boy, good show. That was a good one." And you can see inside there is like these gorgeous red velvet sofas kind of dotted along the wall. And there's like a bunch of gentlemen who are all dressed very regally with their rapiers sat around kind of just talking shit with each other. As Maddox leans in, he goes, "Leopold, there's some people here who wish to see you." And you hear, you kind of hear like a chorus of like, "Oh, everyone wants to see Leopold," from like the people in the room. As he stands up and he's like, you hear like the cane on the ground, and he's like, "Oh, come on, you guys, give it a break. Hey, you, Trevor. What did I say, Trevor? Okay." And he walks past, and Trevor goes, "Man, just because he beats me just means you have to boss me around all the time," as he turns to the person next to him. And Leopold, this older gentleman, kind of shuffles his way out of the door and closes the door behind him, to which you hear a roar of like laughter again kind of go off. And Maddox turns to both of you and goes, "I present humbly the Alpha, Sir Leopold Armwith." Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Skyrim. We're so stoked you hung around. If you're enjoying any of this series, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out massively. It's completely free for you guys. But we're also doing something awesome at the moment, guys. We're trying to build this new, safe, inclusive, diverse TTRPG space where people can share ideas, content, or even just have a talk and know that they're supported by other people within the community. So we have a Discord server at the moment that is growing rapidly. It's over 500 people in there at the moment, and every day it's super busy with loads of people interacting. So if you're interested in checking that out, check the link in the description. As well as that, we are currently doing our newsletter of holding, and this is the best way to stay up to date with the content that we at Homie and the Dude create. So in that newsletter, you'll find out about what we've got coming out that week. You'll get a little bit of behind the scenes content, as well as also an update on our airship combat Kickstarter, which will be coming out next year. We're very excited about that. And finally as well, you get free D&D supplements. So things made by myself, things that, you know, I've used in the Skyrealm and other campaigns that I make. It's all stuff that I use myself. So NPCs, battle maps, items, all that kind of stuff. And we'll be including that in our newsletter of holding as well. So if that interests you, that is completely free of charge. And that's a link in the description as well. So guys, thank you so much for just taking the time to tune in. We really appreciate it here at Homie and the Dude. And we look forward to catching you in the next episode when our party get a little bit deeper in the fencing club and really go with that undercover bit that they're doing for Blanco and Toad, while the others begin looking for some disguises to help themselves blend into Uptown a little bit more. But we look forward to seeing you then, guys. Catch you in the next episode.